Hello, I'm Paul Otten, and I'm fortunate to serve as the superintendent of Beavercreek City Schools. Thank you for joining us for our annual year in review. Each year, we want to highlight all the great things that have occurred during the last school year. We believe that this information is critical to communicate to our residents so that they have a better understanding of what is occurring within our buildings and to see how their financial support is impacting the lives of the children in this great community. Typically, we hold this as either an evening event or as a presentation at one of our board meetings. Due to the current pandemic, we felt that it would be best to provide our presentation as a video, keeping those interested in learning this information safe. The 2019-2020 school year will always be remembered as one of the most unique in history. We hope that you find this information beneficial, and if you should have any questions or would be interested in additional information about something that we have shared, please reach out to us. We are here to serve you. Again, thanks for taking the time to learn more about your school district and to help strengthen the Beavercreek community. The 2019-2020 school year will always be remembered as one of the most unique school years in history. As the school year began, the length of the student day for all schools had been adjusted, transportation had been modified, and all building start times were altered to better serve our students and families. As with any school year, you make changes to bring about improvements and efficiencies in services. You try new things and you give your staff the opportunity to make magic in their classrooms and within their schools. As the year started, those changes were felt both in our buildings and in the homes in our communities. Families and staff had to adjust to new schedules and changes in established routines. As the year progressed, our modifications improved, and our students, their families, and our staff began settling into their new routines. In March, COVID-19 hit, and our schools, families, and our way of life had changed dramatically. On March 16th, all schools in the state of Ohio were closed, and students were forced to go fully virtual. Not only did our students and families have to respond to this requirement, but also our staff. State testing was suspended for all students. Winter sports and student clubs and activities, they were halted or discontinued. Spring sports were never given the authority to begin, and all student activities which occur in the spring, typically, especially our seniors' activities, those were all canceled. Traditional graduation for the class of 2020 was canceled. This was moved twice to different dates because we always wanted to have the opportunity to honor the class of 2020, but realized over time that the best that we could do was to offer a small in-person ceremony for each graduating senior. This occurred over 7 days, and we had over 500 of our seniors take advantage of this opportunity. We are very proud of how those services went for those families, and it allowed our kids the opportunity to receive their diploma from someone special in their family. We received so much praise about it, we've actually had families ask us if we would continue to do something similar to that process. Obviously, since schools closed, access to our buildings and facilities was also prohibited during this time. One of the pieces that we are very proud of that we were able to continue to provide to our families was food service. That remained fully functional, and we allowed families to come by and pick those lunches and meals up for their kids throughout the week. As a school district, we believe that it is essential to our success to engage with our community in everything we do. Our schools belong to our community. We must take every opportunity we can to not only share about the great things happening in Beavercreek City Schools, but also, and more importantly, listen to our community. Our district's values should always mirror that of our communities. During the 2019-2020 school year, we engaged our community in many different facets. I would like to highlight a few of them now. The first group I'd like to highlight is our Faith Leaders group. We gather with this group of community leaders 3 times per year. These individuals represent the leadership of area churches in Beavercreek and surrounding communities. We utilize this time to keep these leaders informed on what's occurring within the district and answer any questions that they may have. This group has been very supportive of the district by offering support of our students, their families, and our staff throughout the school year. We appreciate this group of leaders tremendously, and our district is stronger because of their ongoing support of our families. I'd like to talk about our community coffees. As superintendent, I truly enjoy our community coffees. During the 2019-20 school year, we had over 30 of these coffees scheduled. Unfortunately, COVID-19 prevented us from hosting all of these. The community coffee is a time that we set aside to meet with members of our community to simply discuss the Beavercreek City Schools. These are always well attended, and it allows me to share current events going on in the district, answer questions that community members may have, and to listen to the thoughts and ideas from our parents and residents. You can always find a list of these on our website. The third one I would like to highlight is our community forums. We have found community forums as a great way to highlight a certain topic in the district, present on that topic, and then respond to questions that residents may have. We have focused on school funding, levy initiatives, and other district-related topics in the past. It is our hope to survey our community to identify those topics of interest, present on them to our community so that they can gain a better understanding of the selected topic. More details regarding community forums will be forthcoming. And finally, I'd like to highlight joint meetings with our township and city. Each year, our Board of Education joins the leadership of our city and township to hold a joint meeting with each entity. This is a great opportunity for these public bodies to meet, share what is happening in each organization, learn how the two groups work together, and support one another to make our community a better place for those living here. Our district is thankful for the support and leadership of both the city and township. The City Council, Township Trustees, and the administration are critical to the success of our district.
There were many student accomplishments in the 2019-2020 school year. We had 10 National Merit semifinalists and 4 National Merit finalists. There were 198 students who earned an honors diploma in the class of 2020. There were 514 students in 1920 take advanced placement tests, and we had 5,970 college credits taken last year. There were 147 seniors that attended the Greene County Career Center. We had 17 students that received the industry recognized credit. ACT remediation free score is obtained by earning a certain score that is set by the Ohio Department of Education. For the English exam, there were 519 students that earned this ACT remediation free score. There were 443 earned this score in reading, and 370 earned this remediation free score in math. Our speech and debate team had 3 2020 graduates who earned the prestigious Academic All-American Award from the National Speech and Debate Association. And we had 53 students receive the Shine Award, which is earned for demonstrating exceptional character in one or more of our character pillars. We are also very proud of our student supports and programs. Last year, we started a Hope Squad for Ankeny Middle School and Coy Middle School. Hope Squads reduce youth suicide through education, training, and peer intervention. Hope Squad members are nominated by their classmates as trustworthy peers, and they're trained by advisors in the school. Beavercreek also participated in the Hopes in Schools project, and this is facilitated by Wright State University and the Greene County Educational Service Center. And this Hopes project helped us create a Whole Child Advisory Council, which continues the work of our district prevention team And we went through a strategic planning process to identify student needs and build supports to address those needs. As a committee, we hope to build capacity of current and future educators to support healthy and successful students. Another accomplishment of our district was creating social emotional curriculum maps. These maps help teachers address the social emotional learning standards set forth by the Ohio Department of Education. In grades K through 2, that is done through using children's literature to facilitate student understanding of social emotional standards, such as recognizing their own emotions or recognizing emotions in others. We're fortunate to have 2 social workers. Our social workers work with students in small groups. They work to provide alternatives to discipline through some prevention and intervention work. Finally, our character education initiative for last year was Beavercreek Strong, Strength of Mind, Heart, Character, and Community. Our schools participated in various projects throughout the year to help the community, as well as to build classroom activities and building activities that would focus on mental, physical, and emotional health.
Participation in extracurricular activities is an important part of a well-rounded education. It provides students the opportunity to put into practice critical values and life skills that are taught in our classrooms. The 2019-2020 school year saw our students use those skills to achieve success throughout our region and the state of Ohio. Marching band participation included over 300 students. Lego robotics teams provided STEM opportunities to a record high number of 350 students. In athletics, the district took home GWAC titles in boys bowling, wrestling, boys soccer, girls soccer, boys cross country, girls cross country, and our high school academic team. District, regional, and state level accomplishments include district championships in boys cross country, girls cross country, and wrestling. We had a district runner-up in boys basketball. Regional championships include girls cross country and wrestling. We had a state champion in girls cross country. The team had the fastest total time in Ohio history. Senior Taylor Ewert, individual state cross country champion. Senior Kaylee Nuskin, individual state wrestling champion, and the first female state wrestling champion in school history. Our girls soccer team had the most consecutive wins in the history of Ohio girls soccer with 43, and our high school academic team took home a state championship.
Recruiting, selecting, and retaining the best qualified and purpose-driven staff to serve our students and to help those students reach their full potential is our human resource mission. We're extremely proud of our staff and their accomplishments. During the 2019-2020 school year, 7 Beavercreek teachers earned their master's degree, bringing the total percentage of teachers with a master's degree in education or their content area of expertise to 74.4% among all Beavercreek teachers. Each year, our school community solicits nominations from students, families, and the community at large. And during the 2019-2020 school year, 11 teachers and 5 support staff members were recognized for their outstanding service to our schools and community. Coy Middle School English Language Arts teacher Nathan Messer was named our overall outstanding educator. And Trabine Elementary School Administrative Assistant Rachel Widener was named the overall outstanding support staff member during the 2019-2020 school year. Each year, Beavercreek High School graduating salutatorians and valedictorians select their most influential teachers. For the 2019-2020 school year, they selected Mindy Burcham, Carolyn Wenning, Jeff Willits, Pete Ankrum, Lori Duke, Jason Enneking, and Kelly Odom as their most influential teachers. Beavercreek students excel both in the classroom academically and in their areas of interest, such as athletics. Supporting their interests in athletics, coaches Gary Wise, Bob Bobbitt, William Pryor, Steve Pittman, Jay Giuliano, Steve Pop, Howard Russ were all named Great Western Ohio Conference Coach of the Year in their respective sports. We congratulate these coaches, teachers, and support staff for their hard work, dedication, and recognition for helping our students learn and grow.
Hello. I'd like to start by highlighting what we did beginning in March to keep our school district operations running during the pandemic. As everyone surely remembers, beginning March 16, 2020, our school buildings were mandated to close due to the spread of coronavirus. This is something that no one had ever experienced, and we entered into unfamiliar territory with the rest of the world. Beyond providing educational experiences and services for our students during this time, we also had to maintain our assets throughout the district so that they would be ready when staff and students returned. Were our buildings really empty? What does an empty building look like? They were shuttered, and approximately 98% of staff were not allowed to access them through the spring. During this time, however, custodians and maintenance personnel were still allowed entry and were required to perform specific tasks aimed at maintaining them so the buildings and their systems were ready to utilize again when the time came. There were also additional services that we continued to provide during the pandemic, including meal service, technology support, mail service for critical functions, and an on-site graduation to top off the year. During this time, the safety of all staff members was of utmost importance as we dealt with uncertainty and ever-changing guidelines and recommendations for safe practices while dealing with COVID-19. Meal service was offered March 16th through May 22nd. We prepared approximately 8,500 breakfast and 8,500 lunches for over 600 families available for pickup weekly at Beavercreek High School, or volunteers from Feed the Creek delivered the meals. Graduation. We worked with our staff and many in the community that donated time and items to dress up Beavercreek High School to safely host over 500 graduates and their families for a mask, socially distanced, 7-day graduation experience. In May, we brought the majority of our 12-month workforce back to work. Summer is typically our time to get projects done as staff and students are away. With new safety protocols in place, we had our 12-month employees back at work diligently cleaning buildings, refinishing floors, changing HVAC filters, painting, and completing other projects for whatever the unknown start of the new school year was going to look like. We spent countless hours in preparation for our full return. This included sourcing many new safety-related items, including masks, face shields, plexiglass barriers, social distancing signage, hand sanitizing stations with sanitizer, electrostatic spray guns for disinfecting classrooms, buses, and other areas, adjusting HVAC fresh air settings, and moving and removing classroom furniture to optimize social distancing recommendations. We also implemented many new procedures for staff and students. These included daily health self-check forms, mandatory face coverings, contact tracing protocols, COVID-19 specific cleaning procedures, assigned lunchroom seating, enhanced hand washing and sanitizing requirements, specific one-way traffic flow through hallways and into areas where practical, and many others. We defined a new normal that looked very different than what it was when staff and students left the buildings in March. Our facility projects completed during the 1920 school year and prior to the start of the 2021 school year included renovating warehouse storage space at central office into a health clinic for use by enrolled members, adding a fenced-in, age-appropriate playground to our preschool at Kemp Road, renovating existing office space at our central office into 2 additional classrooms for our expanding preschool enrollment needs, adding portable classrooms at Trebine Elementary to accommodate the growing enrollment in Beavercreek Township, creating a specific training area through renovation for our onboard bus instructors at our transportation facility. Specific facility maintenance projects included replacing the underground water line at Main Elementary, asbestos abatement at Ankeny Middle School, LED lighting upgrades including parking lot lights throughout the district, band and choir rooms at Beavercreek High School, and the choir room at Ankeny Middle School. More security upgrades including Anchorman locks with help from our friends at CreekSafe, and additional cameras at select buildings. A summary of our service improvements include: for the start of the 1920 school year, we adjusted our start times at the elementary buildings by shortening the day by 10 minutes. This change allowed for improved on-time bus service and reduced wait time for our buildings on Tier 3 dismissals. Software enhancements for our bus routing, which includes an ongoing project to incorporate bus tablets onto every bus with navigation and attendance capabilities. A revamp of our lunch menus district-wide, which provided better selection and increased participation prior to the mandatory spring shutdown. A shared service agreement with East Dayton Christian Schools, which provided breakfast and lunch service of over 30,000 meals served and close to $100,000 in increased revenue during a pandemic-shortened school year. More intra-district catering options available. An improved heating and ventilation and air conditioning efficiency and comfort levels through proactive monitoring with software and enhanced preventive maintenance schedules.
We agreed to change health benefits plan to Butler Health Plan, saving millions of dollars between fiscal year 20 and 23. We've also refinanced bonds to save taxpayers another $3.5 million. Additionally, we have earned the Auditor of State Award for Excellence in Financial Reporting for 15 consecutive years. We have a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting Award, and we have an award for Outstanding Achievement in our popular annual financial reporting.
In closing, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to learn a little bit more about your school district. These are your schools. They are here to serve our community and our children. We believe it is critical to our success to ensure that two-way communication is always open between our school district and our community. We want to hear your voice and we want to keep you informed. If our schools are strong, our community will remain strong. If you should have any questions about anything you viewed here today or heard, please do not hesitate to reach out to us directly. Thank you again for your time, and go Beavers.